Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. We have another author interview today. I am so dang excited because we have this incredible author interview series, and today we're talking to author Eliza Tilton. She is the author of Broken Forest. How are you today?
I'm good. Peachy.
I'm super excited that you've joined us. You and I have actually known each other for quite a few years now. Uh,
Yeah.
we're we're Facebook friends. We chat sometimes. It's absolutely been fabulous to kind of watch you on your author career, and we're going to get into all of that wonderfulness. But I do want to know a little bit about your book. So tell us just a little bit about Broken Forest.
So, Broken Forest is about a 17-year-old boy who goes after his kidnapped sister while she falls in love with her kidnapper. So it's, magical fantasy with a bit of sci-fi mixed in.
Which I absolutely love. And this is a full series, so you've got quite a few books in here. So how long does this series run for?
Uh, Let me see. So there's one, two, three. There's three full books, a novelette, and then the novella, which just came out this year, I think. I can't even remember. It's all blending. um, and it's complete. It's complete. Started in like 2000, I think, a contract from Curiosity Quills.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining us live, I do want to let you know that we are taking questions. So, if you're here hanging out with us, now is a great time to post your questions in the comments. And if you are on the rebroadcast, we want to hear from you too. So, go ahead, leave us your questions, leave us your comments. We'll be jumping into those comments afterwards. And if you happen to ask an incredible question that we did not answer on air, I might just be able to drag her back for another episode. So, do your best. See if we can get her back. Um, we do have some fabulous people joining us. Alyssa says hello, getting lots of love and lots of hearts in those comments. So, guys, thank you so much for letting us know that you are here and you are hanging out with us. And again, if you've got questions, I want to hear from you. Go ahead and leave those in the comments below. So, tell me a little bit. I know that you are a super busy lady. You've got a lot going on. I want to know how you came up with this story, and then we're going to get into kind of how you go about writing it.
So this story was actually my broke version of a birthday gift. So I was in college, maybe 24. I don't even remember, but I was broke and I was, with my now husband, we were dating. I needed a creative birthday present, so I wrote him this book that was only 13 chapters long. The only thing that stayed the same was the main character's name, who was Avatar. So I wrote it. He was like, "This is amazing. I hate you that you didn't even finish it." And then from there, I was like, you know what, I'm going to finish it. And then, of course, like novels change, it evolved into something completely different and then into a series. And a little tip, he writes a lot of my fight scenes.
Oh, wow.
Is a serious fighter. And he's like a martial artist and like a street fighter. So he like knows all those moves.
Well, that's fantastic. That's like
Yeah.
so much credibility right there. I love that.
Yeah. Cool.
Now I know because you are so busy, you've got a large family, you've got a busy job. How do you go about doing all of this writing that you are doing?
It's been getting tougher, especially since my youngest is about 19 months. You probably hear one of my children crying or screaming in the background, so I'm sorry. It's just how I come. But my new thing that I've been trying to do is to commit to 500 words a day. It's not always happening, and sometimes I write 2,000 words, but I'm at least trying to hit that word count goal because the time is just not there anymore.
That's so funny. Yeah, I hear you. It's a busy life, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me know, guys, if you are busy in the comments, let us know that you've got an insane life and you totally feel us, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about your characters. I know you've got a couple of them and you kind of focus in different areas on these different characters. So tell us who are our main characters and what is one thing we need to know about them?
So what's interesting about this series is that it's told from three point of view. So it's told from the hero, the kidnapped girl, and the villain, which I loved writing the villain. So those three characters are Avatar, Jesslyn, and Lucino. And it's really, oh my God, sorry if that's really loud. My daughter is having a panic attack in the background. Um, But so those are the three main characters, and basically, you read Avatar going, risking life and limb to save his sister, and she's over here like, oh, look at this hot, guy, and he's like a shapeshifter from another world who's like trying to kill everybody. So it's really interesting because you really get the three perspectives of the story, and that's how the whole series is.
I love that. I was actually just having a conversation in my Instagram stories with my fans recently, and we were talking about having more than one point of view. And I kind of love that you stepped away from the traditional dual point of view where you have two voices and you kind of focus on the three of them. So do
And
you,
first person point of view. It's not even third person. So
which
it's
I love.
yeah, I think that in the beginning I struggled a little bit with Avatar's voice. The villain was easy because he was just
It's
so
fun to write villains.
he was I knew him like right off the bat, and he was easy to write. So in the beginning, like I had to make sure that Avatar and Jesslyn were very different. So she's more whimsical, kind of lyrical, romantic. And, I had to make sure he was more like choppy, more rugged in his, sentence structure. And so when you do multiple point work, I told you I was busy. um, it's really important to make sure that like you're not using the same word choices, and that, regardless if someone doesn't see the name at the top of the page, they know once they're in this chapter, this is how. And what's interesting is that every story but one story I've written is all multiple point of views. Most of them are dual, but yeah, I can't seem to just, I always have a romance, and I can't seem to just write one person.
Yeah, I feel you there. We've got Alyssa in the comments. She wants to know which author inspired you the most.
My biggest one author is R.A. Salvatore. I started reading his books, oh gosh, I want to say when I was 22. He's still writing in the same world. So he writes for Forgotten Realms, which is like the campaign for Dungeons and Dragons. And what I loved about his books was that he had this whole campaign, and he wrote spin-off series. Certain characters would go in different directions, and you would constantly just have these characters all over the place. So I wanted that in the YA world. I wanted to write a series where I could write. So like the novelette is a spin-off, it's the side characters. And like, while that series arc is done, I definitely want to have more planned for the world, because he's just, how he did that is awesome.
I love that when it kind of spins off and takes a life of its own. And I know that you mentioned that you've got quite a few books out. So, what else do we need to know about the rest of your books?
So, all right. So I have one contemporary romance, which I self-published, which was the book that it kind of fell in between the Christian market and the general market, because you can't say Jesus and drugs in the same sentence. So it had a lot of good reviews from agents, but nobody wanted to bite it. So I basically, self-published that. I have some stories in, anthologies from Curiosity Quills. Oh my gosh, my kids are going nuts in the background. um, I have a Viking book that was in a box set that hit USA Today. We hit number 46. Yeah, that was awesome. And I'm re-releasing that in September. And then I have a Wi-Fi series that is kind of like the show Black Mirror. Is it Black Mirror? Yeah, the show Black Mirror on Netflix. It's like individual episodes with like all weird, like high tech, futuristic, weird things. I'm doing a YA series like that. So I have that book with an editor, and then I have a gothic fantasy that I'm so excited about. That's going to be a 4-book series that I'm working on. So the next, end of this year, 2019, is going to be a big year for me, publishing wise.
You are going to be busy. And the fact that you are a list author now, that is so exciting. How did that make you feel when you found out that you actually hit, what was it, number 46?
Yeah, you know what? It was exciting, but it was a lot of damn work. Um, so it was great, and I think I learned more from the experience, but I learned like it took a lot of nonstop marketing, ads, newsletter swaps. I mean, and we had so many people like working together, like you're doing a Facebook group, you're doing newsletters. I mean, what it takes to actually get the numbers is a massive amount of work. So I think I appreciated the process more than just hitting the number, because I understood what it really takes to get there.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of what it takes to get there, I do want to know, and I kind of try to touch on this in our author interviews, but if you had some piece of advice to offer to aspiring authors, what would that be?
I would say that you have got to stay on your social media. You got to be consistently posting to stay relevant and make all the algorithms hit. Build your newsletter. Newsletters were a big thing. That's going to be the biggest thing, without a doubt. You know, some people hit the bestseller ranks strictly off their newsletter. So it's important to make sure that you're updating those two things.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that because, you know, I'm a social media strategist. So anything related to social media, I'm just like, yes.
One who got me really trying to focus on, like, that's why my name on Twitter, and Instagram is Nerdy Girl Health, because I tried to incorporate the book stuff with my health stuff to try to get that theme, which is something that I picked up from you.
There you go. Now, speaking of your health stuff, I know that you are one of those people who's very into fitness. You're very into the health world. So, how's this kind of played into your stories and how you are working just as an author? Does this kind of play into that part of your life?
So I think one of the things that I've struggled with is actually staying fit while writing and editing. Um, it's really hard to kind of split your focus. So, but I feel like if I can do it, then I can teach other people. You know, we don't need to be sitting there editing, eating chocolate and drinking wine. You know, you could drink Shakeology and have strawberries. You know, so I'm trying to do it in myself so that I can just help other people.
And I love seeing your, because we're personal friends on Facebook. So we hang out on each other's personal pages. And I love seeing all of your work that you are doing through your page because you're constantly like moving and exercising and doing all this, but not just doing it and showing it off, educating people how to do it as well and kind of really inspiring them. So I love, especially because we are authors and our job requires us to sit in front of a computer for hours and hours and hours. And that is not necessarily the best for our health. So I love that you're kind of doing this for us and with us.
And that's what I do at my day job. I'm in a computer all day. So it's like I go from one computer to the next computer. It's insane.
Yeah. And of course, it's super important to also get that in there and not neglect certain parts of our life. So I love that you are such an inspiration in that as well. Hey guys, if you're joining us live, if you're here hanging out with us, we are wrapping up in the next few minutes. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the comments below because we want to hear from you. We're going to get any of your questions answered while we're on air. And if you're on our rebroadcast, leave us some comment love because we will be taking your questions later. And if you have a really good one that we didn't touch on while we were on air, we might just be able to do a second episode. I'm just saying. So let us know what your questions and your comments are. Okay, so let's switch gears just a little bit. I want to ask you kind of a random question here. I know you've got a lot of books that you've written and a lot that you're working on. And Alyssa's jumping in with a very similar question to where I was going. So let me ask mine and then we'll jump into Alyssa's. My question is, if you could write anything else in any other area, what would that be?
My Gothic fantasy, which I'm doing now. I have been, and I've never written Gothic, but for some reason, I've just been dying for it. You know, like I read one book here, and so normally my genre is mainly, you know, fantasy. I'm very fantasy based, but it's got fantasy in it, but just I wanted to do it, and I decided to do it.
Fantastic. I love it. Now, Alyssa was very, very similar. She actually hashtagged friend wavelengths. She and I think alike. She wants to know, what are you currently working on? Which I know you've told us a little bit about, but maybe give us one thing that you haven't told anybody else about what you're working on right now.
What I haven't told anybody was so the book that's the Gothic fantasy series. So I'll give you that. Basically, one thing that's cool about it. Oh, my daughter is literally banging on the door now. Sorry. It's got necromancers in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
And it takes place between South Wales and England.
So. Wow. So that kind of requires a research trip, right? Like, let's get on the plane and go.
So when I write, I did this with my Viking fantasy book too, is I pick a point in time that I want to focus on, and I basically researched that area, and I found a mining town in South Wales that had problems with ghosts because there were explosions in the mines. So I picked that and use that as my focal point.
Well, that's really cool. And guys, we just got a really cool exclusive look behind the scenes. I kind of love how you do that.
Never told anybody. Well, I mean, except like my super, super close friends. But yeah, no, street team, nobody knows that.
Well, I'm here for exclusivity. So guys, street team, lovely people, this was your sound clip. This is why you're here. We're super excited to see you. Alyssa's in the comments saying that she wants to go visit this place too. I think we should just kind of do a girls trip and just go. If you guys want to join us, let us know. This isn't actually happening. You can't actually join us, but we would love to just make believe that this is happening. So let's pretend. It's going to be awesome. All right. Tell everybody where they can find you. Give us your website and then your social media.
So ElizaTilton.com, my website's there. My social media on Twitter and Instagram. Instagram, you can follow me on IG stories where I show crazy videos of my kids and my life so you understand my pain. And that's Nerdy Girl Health.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you being here. We cannot wait to have you back. And if you want to say any last minute words, now's your chance.
You know, I think that for me, being a busy mom is tough. And, you know, I know that my kids were screaming in the background and I'm sitting here like, God, how do I even do this? But I've learned you just got to roll with it. You know, there are so many people, everybody's, you know, so many people have kids and everybody's got something going on that we can't let it stop us. You know, we just got to keep going and just roll with it.
And I feel like that's such a great lesson for authors, but for life in general.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom, guys. Words of wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today as we did our author interview. We have had such a great day. We've actually interviewed several authors today. We've already talked to authors like Freedom Matthews, J.M. Sullivan. Next week, we're going to be talking to Karen Tomlinson. We've got Amber Ardul. We've got some incredible people hanging out with us in these author interviews. And I would love to know, who do you want to see me interview? So jump down into those comments or send me a direct message and let me know which authors we should be hanging out with. Bonus points for tagging the author in the comments so that they know they should be coming to hang out with me as well. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, now is a great time to put those in there. We would love to hear more from you. And you can join me every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My co-host, Elle Beaumont, and I run Young Adult Edition, where every single week we talk about a brand new book topic. We hang out with some fabulous authors. We do all sorts of bookish things. We give you new releases. We talk about book world news. It's a great time, an absolute trip, and we would love for you to join us every Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook.com/k.m.robinson My name is k.m. Robinson. I am the author of The Golden Trilogy, The Data Duology, The Legends Chronicles, Virtually Sleeping Beauty, The Goose Girl and the Artificial, The Sinking, The Siren War Saga, The Revolution of Jack Frost, and a whole bunch of other fabulous books. You can come hang out with me at k.m.robinsonbooks.com, where I have world portals to all of my different series. There's behind the scenes, there's videos, there's character art, there's interactive choose your own adventure games, there's Facebook filters, there's all sorts of fabulous things, and I would love for you to come join me. k.m.robinsonbooks.com, and you can hit me up at k.m.robinsonbooks on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Also check out my YouTube channel where we have rebroadcasts of these live author interviews, all of the Young Adult Edition episodes, all of my other live broadcasts and unboxings. We have pre-recorded Q&A. There's fan interviews. There's all sorts of trailers and fun, fabulous things on our YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. And we recently opened up our brand new IGTV channel, which has exclusive content that you can't find on my other social media platforms or on YouTube, so make sure you hit that up as well. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I do appreciate you being here. We want to know who you want to see next, so go ahead and let us know in those comments. And I will see you again next week as we jump in for more live author interviews. We are hanging out with Karen Tomlinson and Amber R. Duel. It's going to be so much fun. We've got great questions planned for them. And make sure that you go over to blog.k.m.robinsonbooks.com because we have a 10-question interview with Eliza Tilton. These are brand new questions that we did not ask here in this live interview, and we would love for you to check it out. There will be a rebroadcast of this episode over there too, so make sure you hit that up. That is going live this evening, and you guys, you don't want to miss this. So make sure you check it out, blog.k.m.robinsonbooks.com. Thanks so much for joining me for this author interview. I will see you next time. Stay inspired.